So, as I've told you many times, I started with $274 in a used truck, served in the Marine Corps, and focus became my game. I was focused on getting through boot camp. I was focused on completing my heating and air conditioning school afterwards. After I got out of the Marine Corps, I was still in the reserves. And I was focused on getting a job in heating and air. Someone gave me some good advice. Make sure you work for a few places before you try to start your own, because I was all gung-ho, and man, it would have really failed had I not done that, because I learned what not to do at those companies. What I would sit and write notes. I am not going to do this. I am not going to do this. I am going to advertise more. I'm going to, all those types of things. So I was focused. And then when we started McAfee in 1990 with $274 in a used truck, I was focused for the first 5 to 8 years on doing one thing: surviving. That was it. We had to survive. I was failure. I failed many, many times, but I was not going to fail in starting this company. And I had to figure out how not to fail. So I was focused on surviving. And then the thriving came afterwards. Many, many years of thriving, thriving, I called it. So I'm going to title this, Find Your One Thing. Hey, this is Greg McAfee, and welcome to the Greg McAfee Show. Now let's get started. Hey, welcome back to the Greg McAfee Show, where we discuss steps to successful entrepreneurship, how to take your business to the next level, whatever that level might be, and follow your dreams. I hope you still have dreams. I hope you're still following them. Don't give up. It's hard, but it's worth it. Okay, so I've titled this, Find Your One Thing. Today we're going to be talking about that one thing. The thing you do best. The thing that brings 99% of your results. And I'll tell you what mine is here in a little bit. Most people never find it, folks. Most people run businesses, small businesses. They start from scratch, or they take family business over, or whatever it is, first gen, second gen, third generation, whatever it is. And we had a lumber company here in Dayton, Ohio. They were on their 5th generation, and they finally sold because they just didn't feel that the next generation had what it took to continue thriving. So they finally sold after 5 generations. So it's complicated. But if you dial into that 99%, you will be more successful than 99% of the world. Okay? And that's how it works. Stay focused. Dial in on what you do best. So you say, what's yours, Greg? Well, I was blessed to read a lot of books. I think I've mentioned this several times. I've read over 1,200 books now. And I studied Harvey Firestone, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison. Read almost everything there is to read about them. Harvey Firestone had a small bike tire making company in his garage. They made bike tires, okay? And by the time he was 40 years old, he had 42,000 employees. It's a wow, unbelievable, cool story about him. But here's what I learned from those 3 people the most. Take care of people. Take care of people better than anyone else. If you do that, you will succeed better than anyone else. Okay? So we're going to talk about today, and that was my niche. Just take care of people. I worked off a kitchen table. I didn't have any brick and mortar other than our little 800 square foot ranch that had that kitchen table in it. and I took care of people better than anyone else. I portrayed an image that we were always bigger than what we were. I portrayed an image of cleanliness, high caliber, safe. It's okay to have our employees in your house because they are safe. They look professional. There were certain things I did not allow. I didn't allow for many, many years. I didn't allow any tattoos to show. I didn't allow any rings in ears or definitely noses. It was just a high caliber place. You can say, we were in a high caliber place and we allow earrings. That's fine. I didn't, and I'm good with that. Later on, as we grew and as time evolved, then tattoos became a normal thing. And as long as they didn't offend anybody, we allowed them. So we adjusted. We transitioned. So let's talk about today why finding your one thing matters. This is number one. Most people dabble. They dabble in the heating and air and the plumbing and the electrical world and the roofing and all that stuff. They dabble in stuff. For anything that comes down the pike, they want to try. See if it's a quick money maker. We focused on heating and air conditioning. We did not do new construction. We did not do boilers. We did not do a lot of different things that heating and air conditioning companies do. We did not do oil heat. We focused on what we did best, and that's what we focused on. And remember, focus is the key. So quit trying to do everything. Focus on what you do best, and master that. Master what you do best. And also, success is rarely about doing more. It's more about doing what you do best. It's mostly about doing less. I used to say this all the time. We were more successful at McAfee Heating and Air and Plumbing because of what we didn't do versus what we did. It separated us from everyone else. You wouldn't find McAfee employees up on a rooftop. Very, 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 very little. We were 95% residential, and the only commercial we did was because of our customers, our residential customers who wanted us to work on their commercial building, dentist's office, doctor's office, whatever. Here's the trap. Here's the trap for some people. It can't be that easy. I can't just do what I do best and be that successful. I've got to do more. No, that's a trap. That's false. You can't. Look how McDonald's started. How many things did they have on their menu? Very little. Hamburger, cheeseburger, French fries, milkshakes, Coca-Cola. Okay? And that was about it. They didn't come out for the fish sandwich till later. They only come out with a McRib every once in a while. It's a specialty item. Now, granted, they've added more of the quarter pounders, the Big Mac, all that stuff. But at first, it was very little. And there were lines waiting to get McDonald's food. Still is today. Nothing against McDonald's, but I guess it's affordable today. All right. Also, part of the trap, I just don't want to work that hard. I'd rather do multiple things and make more money. I was coaching someone last year, and I had them list everything they did. And instead of being 3 or 4 things, it became 8 or 9 things, and we broke down each one of those. I am not the smartest guy at the table by any means. If I am, I'm at the wrong table. But when I'm coaching, I just make it extremely simple. Tell me what's making you the most money. And we went down from what they made the most all the way to the bottom. They spent a lot of time on new construction, and it was at the bottom of the list. I'm like, why are you still doing this? You're losing money doing new construction. It's taking away from what you do best. But they were stuck on doing it. His dad did it. His uncle did it. They've been doing it for years, but they were losing money. Instead of netting 25%, like I teach how to do that, they were netting single digits, 5 to 7%. Okay? And then a lot of people, the trap is, where do I start? You just start on focusing on the top 2 or 3 items you do and quit worrying about the bottom portion. So there's a anecdote about HVAC, how focusing on service excellence, taking care of people, and branding yourself so well that your one thing builds a multi-million-dollar company. And we did it in a very small market, Dayton, Ohio. Look it up. We did it. And we did what others couldn't do. It put me in the 1 percentile, which I strive to be in at all times. And then when I sold 35 years later, it put me in the 1 percentile of the multiple I got for this year, what its going rates are going for. And we were in the 1 percentile of our EBITDA for the size company we were. I'm proud of that. It's running a tight ship. It's not being the biggest. I don't have to be the largest company when my net profits are more than a lot of people doing 2.5 times what we did. I have less headaches. I had less stress. I had less people. We were making more money per person. All those good metrics that we do. And I'll take that all day long. So I ask people this all the time. Would you rather do $3 million and make $280,000 net? Or would you rather do $1 million and make $250,000 net? It's a no-brainer. You're touching less things. You have less people. You have less responsibility. You're just doing what you do best. And when you do what you do best, you should make the most money at it. I say should. All right. Number 2, identify your strongest gift. It's a gift. Your strengths should be your gifts. And everyone has one standout ability that just really stands out. If you look in the sports world, there's always going to be someone fast, extremely fast. That's all they need, speed. There's going to be someone who plays defense better than anyone else. Dennis Rodman stands out for me. I'm old school. That was my era for watching good NBA basketball back then. But Dennis Rodman was the defensive player. Couldn't make foul shot very well, but boy, he could play defense. Got a lot of rebounds. And he worked with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. They were a team. And so, leading and inspiring people can be a gift all day long. John Maxwell has written over 100 books. He inspires people. That's his gift. You can have the same gift. But are you sitting on your gift or are you using your gifts? That's the question. It doesn't matter what your gift are. There's plenty of tests to find out what your gift is. Some have more than one, but mainly you have one main gift, maybe 2. And you got to figure out what it is. I love encouraging. I hope I encourage you guys when you listen to this. Everything's possible in my world. You just got to figure it out and make it happen. I help people figure it out and make it happen. Enjoy doing that. Also love branding. Never took a branding class in my life, but I've taught several branding classes because we branded McAfee like no other. We branded McAfee, and when they would do these huge surveys where they would ask people, name 5 brands of equipment. And McAfee would be number 1 in our market because we private labeled since 2003. We private labeled, and I branded McAfee strong because I was carrying another brand. And people would call and they would think that we were that brand. I branded that brand so well, they thought we were it. And I said, when we private label McAfee, I'm going to brand it so well, we're going to beat those companies. And sure enough, I had 2 national companies that the McAfee name brand was ahead of those 2 national companies rather. Unbelievable. But that's what we did in Dayton, Ohio. So I love branding. I love marketing. I love advertising. It seemed to work for us. It got us that. It helped get us that EBITDA. It helped get us that multiple. All those types of things. So, and you got to do some practical things. It's not rocket science. The world will try to steal your time, energy, and momentum. Don't allow it. Okay? Don't allow it. Stay focused. And then set your boundaries of saying no. Remember, when I said no, it made us a lot of money. And people can't comprehend that. But it did. And I created dream rooms in my building where we would go in and just brainstorm. I'd go in by myself and just start writing notes. I'd get in the brain mode. I took my leadership Bible in there and I would just brainstorm and I would set a vision, a dream first, and then a vision and a goal, and all those types of things that I talk about. And that's what I did. And then I let me share my simple rule with you. If it doesn't support your one thing, don't put it on your calendar because you're wasting time. Now, sure, you got to have lunch with some people, you got to meet some people, but if it doesn't support your one thing, if another company or another brand name company's calling you to buy their stuff and you're extremely happy and loyal with your company, don't waste your time. It's okay to say no. I said no many times. I'm loyal to people who take care of me. I take care of them. They take care of me. Let's move on. All right. And then you've got spiritual and mindset tie-in. This is really good. God created each person with a unique purpose and a unique gift. Again, you got to tap into that. You got to figure it out. Everything came from God. In my world, according to what I know, according to the Bible, everything came from God. He knew us before we were even born, and the Bible says he named us in the womb, okay? And I won't even go there with what happens in the womb today, but it's extremely sad, and I'm going to do my part to reduce that. Okay. The Bible says in Psalms 139:14 that we were fearfully and wonderfully made. Man, fearfully and wonderfully made. And one thing, and the part of walking in God's design is that when you know your gift, you're there. You're in the mode. You're going to do it best because that was what you were designed to do. And talent is God-given. Focus is our responsibility. I love that. Talent is God-given. He gives us the talent, but we got to focus. We got to stay focused on what we do best and then work it. All right? And then wrapping it up here, I want to ask you 3 simple questions before we wrap it up here. What is your one thing? What is your gift? If you don't know it, I want you to ask your friends, your family, your team, figure out what that one gift is, and then really drive it home. And the second question is, what distractions must be removed from your life? What must you start saying no to? And the last question, what habit can you build today to support your one thing? That one thing, do you read about it? Do you watch videos on it? Do you watch podcasts on it? Do you study it? Do you figure out how you can do better? Okay? None of us have it all down. Oh, there's so much I could have learned and, and maybe increased a couple more million in sales at McAfee had I always known this, had I started out earlier knowing this, but experience and wisdom I gained as I went on, and it's never too late to learn. I'm glad I learned it when I did. But if I had learned it faster, could I have been further? Probably. But it's never too late to learn. So I want you to write it down today, not tomorrow. I want you to write down your strengths. I want you to write down your distractions, and I want you to write down what habit can you build today to support your one thing, that one thing that just takes you to the next level. And I can go on and on with mine, but it's not about me. It's about you today. So let me close with this. If everything is important, then nothing is. I wrote this the other day. If everything is important, then nothing is, because not everything should be important in your life. Figure out what's important. Again, it's your one thing. Find your one thing, pursue it with discipline, and you'll separate yourself from 99% of the world. Is that fair? You better believe it's fair. You better believe, I hope that's what you're striving for, because that's what I'm striving for. I'm in a new position now. We're making things happen. It's fun. I love it. And I'm striving to be the 1% of RV, classic car, boat, motorcycle, storage. And we're going to do it. And it's going to happen. I've already wrote it down. It's there. By a certain time, by a certain year, we're going to phase 2. We're building on all this kind of stuff. It's there. It's in writing. We will make it happen. Okay? So, if you liked what you've seen, please hit that like button. Please tell your friends about us. Again, we're now getting thousands of views and thousands of listeners. I'm encouraged by that. That means something I'm saying is helping you. And so, as always, carry on. God bless. Make this day the best day of your life, because we're not promised tomorrow. I'll see you later.